Family, what up? Super excited about life. I want to play some music because it's a whole vibe right now. Actually, you're a vibe. You coming in to the jam right now. Where at right now? We all at right now. Karen Jones and it's Karen here. Hey. Welcome to the party called you. Hello, friends. Hello, family. Grateful to be here right now to serve and support you. Thank you for buying my book. Super grateful. Wherever you're at right now, for like 20 seconds before we get into this Breakthrough Coaching Live, I want you to stop thinking about your bills, the breakup, and anything. Just take a quick dance break. And allow yourselves to get into your body. And be like, yo, I'm alive. I can choose to be happy. My time is right around the corner. I don't know who I'm talking to. I know somebody's out there right now that's like, damn, the struggle is real. I'm going to let you know. Somebody who is $250,000 in debt, living in my car. There was no example of the light shining through the tunnel. I still would say my time is right around the corner. So if anybody's just waiting for your soulmate, for your wealth mate, with beautiful things to happen in your life, I want you to say right now before you even get started, my time is right around the corner. Right around the corner. We don't know what corner that is, but I'll tell you this. Someone who keeps saying that is going to achieve what's right around the corner when it comes to my time more than somebody who's trying to force it, complain about it. All right, y'all. So I am so grateful and honored to be able to serve and support you today throughout the nooks and crannies of my life. I want y'all to try this on. I want you to just try this on. And say these words. Close your eyes. That feels good for you. Hand on your heart. And you say these words. Without making a sound, without opening up your mouth, without moving your lips, say these words. I deserve to be happy. Say these words. I deserve to be happy. Now say this, and I want you to observe what's going on in your body when you say that. Now I want you to say this. I am infinite happiness. And notice what's going on in your body. Now I have a question for you. You didn't talk. You didn't say nothing. Yet, who said that and who heard that? Somebody said something. You didn't move your mouth. You didn't say anything. Somebody said something and somebody heard that somebody said. The version of you that I have a powerful desire to connect with over the next hour is the version of you that said that and heard that without your mouth moving and without you making a sound. And so, as multidimensional beings, I know this because we all have dreams and hunches and things of that nature. It is the invisible world of you that you can't see it, but you can see the effect of it. And this is why I always say, you're born looking like your mom and dad, but you'll die looking like your decisions. Dre, Bombay, what up, brother? You'll die looking like your decisions. And so I really want to bring into the fourfold the opportunity that we all have to up-level, to have a new insight, awareness, breakthrough, something. You're coming on this call and you will leave off this call a completely different person. If you can be on this call as if you invested $150,000 of sweat equity just to be on this call, my ask is that you bring that version to this call. That is my ask. Where did this come from? My ask is that you bring that version to this call. And how would you pay attention? How would you take notes? Would you be scrolling? Or would you make your life a priority because somebody is making your life a priority? Now, people often always ask me, Garen, how do you, somebody who is, who has been deemed one of the top 25 personal development coaches in the country, have time to do these free calls? One, I never sought out to be top 25. I don't even know where they got that from, but they did not make a mistake. The Netflix special is coming out soon. But I will say this. When I was homeless, living in my car, $250,000 in debt, physically in the lowest point of my life, there are several things that were my guiding light. Anytime I could do music, which, by the way, I'm working on my album right now. I never knew God wanted me to be a producer. I could always just tell the producers, create something like this, do the drums like this. I didn't know God says, no, I want you to create the music. Somehow or another, I'm creating the music for my own album. I don't need a label. I just need to just keep going with God and listen in that direction. So in the spring, my album, Songs in the Key of Truth, will be coming out. And I'm so grateful to just serve and support humanity in this way, with these stories, with these drums, because you know what? Music needs it. And people, they ask, how do you have time to do these free calls? And I was like, well, you got to understand, when I was in the lowest point of my life, it was these calls that felt like a guiding light for me. It was being in the studio with certain people and just creating something that just came from an idea, then making it manifest. Those were like guiding lights for me. So everything in my life that brought me the most joy when I was the most down is what I just continue to keep doing. Because typically, people will do things based off of some ulterior motive. Maybe I can get a Grammy, or maybe I can get the girl, maybe I can get the guy, maybe I can get the something. But meanwhile, the idea and where ideas come from has nothing to do with a Grammy or money or any of those things. And so I believe that the idea spirits want to know what you will do with this gift. And if you disrespect the gift, your life will be a direct reflection of that disrespect. I didn't know what that was when I was in the entertainment industry before, but I highly know what it is now, which is why my life, my whole life, looks the way that it does. So just because I have the cars, the houses, no, I sold my car, I don't need a car, but I have all the things that people deem as success, the wife, the family, does not mean that I should ever stop doing something that has brought me so much joy during my most darkest hours. And so I do these calls because you never know who you could connect with. I meet people all the time. How you doing? I'm fine. How you doing? I'm fine. Knowing damn well you work at Hot Dog on the Stick. You're not fine. You've settled. So people aren't as fine as they make it out to be. And it was calls like this or social media, somebody just like speaking that real shit without like sugarcoating things. That was the one thing that woke me up. And this part of my gift, I will never charge. I will never charge. It's just the programs that I create is one thing. but then having an opportunity to connect with humans and maybe just be a voice of hope or be the voice of the voiceless, or at least the part of you that you haven't yet given a voice. Oh my goodness. Like, I could easily charge for this, but I cannot charge for this gift. And so that's why I do these calls. And so the best way to say thank you, and this is one thing I always want to share people, mentees, people that I work with. I said the greatest way to say thank you to somebody who pours their life force into you, change your life. And make sure that their time wasn't in vain. It's not in vain, whether it's 1 or 1 million people, that doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is I'm being honest, I am being truthful, I'm sharing what has worked for me. And when I share from that place, that raw, real honesty, it just reaches a part of a person where they're like, damn, I'm not alone. So that's why calls like this is very, very, very important to me. So I understand that being a top tiered, just like a personal coach for very powerful business minds in the world, it makes sense why I get paid the way that I do, 6 figures for 12 sessions. But I know that not everybody can afford that. I've been there before. My retreats, those are anywhere from $2,500 to $15,000. I know that not everyone can afford that. I have a coaching certification program where I teach on energy work and coaching and creating safety in yourself so that you can have transformation through your clients' results every single time out, facilitating retreats in that nature. I have a whole coaching certification program. And if that is something you're interested in, I'm giving a 50% savings because I love to reward people in the moment who want that now. If you type in Panda in the comment section, my digital team will reach out to you and get you all the details. Now, I know that not everybody can afford that, but you know what? I have a book called Change Your Mindset, Change Your Life. That book is sold close to 500,000 copies. No paid ads, which is insane. You know how much that book was? $12.95. And I know there are a few people that are like, damn, G, I don't have it like that. And I understand. So I'm always trying to find ways to meet people where they are. We just launched 2 days ago our Artist Power community, and I was telling my team for 3 years, I need something that is cost effective to where most people are. And then I thought, and I did this research on how many people spend $30 a day on coffee and all these things, but it's actually in the long run not good for you, not over excessive amounts. And I was like, you know what? I want some type of offer that just it's like, I call it bubblegum talk. When you're just around somewhere and somebody goes, oh, hey, can I have a piece of gum? And it's so easy. I created an offer that's just like that. $9.95 a month to change your fucking life. You know how crazy that is? Private Telegram community, all these different things. And we just launched it 2 days ago. So anybody who wants to be around a powerful goal-driven community, want to have just like accountability throughout the year, and you're around artists and creators, $9.95 a month, type community in the comments section and have at it. The worst that could happen is you meet some really cool ass people doing really cool things in the world. You don't feel like you're alone, and you wind up executing on your goals instead of just leaving them and say, hey, I'll get around to it when I can. But you're in a community that's designed for creation. It's called the Tribe of Creators. And that community, all you got to do is type community in the comment section right here. And it's literally $9.95 per month. that's a steal. And even in that, there are some people that are like, can't afford it. Here's my question to you. Here's my invitation to you. Take the word it off the end of that and say me. I can't afford me. And this is what you don't realize. There are people buy coffee, Kool-Aid, baguettes, bagels, and everything. And then when it comes to investing in you, like, I can't afford it. What? Do you know what you spend on food that you can't afford to eat? This is what people do. You spend money on food that your spirit hates. It's not even working for your soul. You're tired. Your bones are breaking down because of the food that you're eating. But then there's an opportunity to join a community that's literally trying to train you how to develop your subconscious mind. Train you and develop and put you in a right community of people that if you have an idea and then you come to the community, hey, I was thinking about doing this. Does anybody know how to do these flyers? Does anybody? And when you're around a whole bunch of people who are thinking in that way, guess what happens? You get answers just like that. And so when I was coming up as a creator, I didn't have a community, so I just had to figure it out the hard way. Why would you do such a thing? So, from my gift, from my heart to yours. From my heart to yours. $9.95 a month to transform your life and put your, to put your gifts and your goals on the forefront of your life so that you can have your gift transform your life. You know, you work at a job and then all of a sudden you got this little side thing that you're doing, but it's really what you want to do for the rest of your life. You know what I do right now? I live from my art. I don't want to live from a job I know I don't want to work at. So what I did, I learned business, I learned spirituality, and I learned the depths of art, not to create from escaping, but to create from remembering. That community is our Artist Power community. When that little kid inside of you feels permission to create and to express themselves, because most adults are deteriorated children. And when you can tap back into who you were as a child and create from that place, let me tell you something. It will wrap itself around your whole life, transform your whole life. And you'll look up 1 year from now, you're like, wow, if I would have never met this person in that community, Garen, I'm doing calls, you get access to a bunch of stuff. So I wanted to share that. And even so, there are people that can't afford $9.95 a month, but you can afford your coffee bean. So I'm just teaching you how to shift your spending and to work harder on yourself than you do on anything outside of you. Therefore, everything outside of you becomes a reflection of the self, right? Now we're about to get into this breakthrough coaching session. And I just love to talk about things that happen in life. I feel that we get served enough bullshit in the media because all they do is play us on each other. He's white, I don't like him. He's black, I don't like him. They're trans and this community. I'm like, you know what's crazy is knowing that they are playing us on each other and then just playing the fucking game. I don't want to play the game. Well, what do you think about this? I don't give a fuck. You know what I care about? My daughter actually not falling victim to the insecurities that most little kids fall into because the parent doesn't have the patience and doesn't understand how to divinely guide that child based off of what they're naturally showing. That's what I care about. All of this shit out here, all of this, none of that matters until my household is right. That's what I care about. So nothing out there is going to affect my household. Why? Because that is what we create. That's how much we care, because we're literally sitting. You want to change the future out there, or you want to change the future at home? I'd rather change the future at home, because they're the ones we're going to pass the baton on to. That's what I care about. I care about seeing someone who has so much genius inside of them, so many gifts inside of them, have the light bulb click on, have the right direction, have the right kind of guidance, have the right kind of community, and then they do something with that, because we need more Einsteins. We need more people that are pushing the race forward. But it's honestly people who are crazy enough to believe they can do it. That's what I care about. All this stuff out here, that's called the weapons of mass distraction. No, thank you. That's why I don't watch TV. But you can watch this TV right here, because I'm spitting that fucking fire. And I love to have a great time. So we're about to get into breakthrough coaching. And how this works is we can talk anything about money, unblocking your inner child, creating, getting your business off the ground, building an organization, how to sustain your growth when you do have a business, anything about leadership, basically all things life. Whatever you're struggling with, whatever you just need an extra ear, extra conversation, somebody to just ideate with you. I'm here. And anything I know I'm not going to just punch above my weight class. I know where to refer you if I don't know the answer to something. So my goal is, and my intention is to be the space that holds for 100% transformation, even the ones you don't even think that you need, such that every single person watching, including watching the recording, have such a radical breakthrough, insight, awareness, so that by the time you leave off this call, you will be a radically different person, and you will know exactly what your next step is. That is my intention, and I am so grateful and honored to be your humble and halfway turned up guide for the next hour. So, a couple of housekeeping rules. All I want you to do is press the little plus sign, the little camera sign at the bottom. We're going to go live. I never know who I'm going to go live with. It is all intuitive. Make sure that you have a photo on your profile, because I don't choose non-photo profiles, because that's what allows me to connect with you. And then we'll go live. All I ask is you get straight to the point. The traumas in the story and giving the scope of things, we're just going to get straight to the point, and I'm going to lead you to your own answer. I'm not going to lead you to me. I'm going to lead you to yourself. And I'm inviting everyone, even if you don't come on live, I want you to imagine you're the one that's getting served, so that the 4 or 5 people that we get through, every single person is going to have a radical breakthrough. Yes? Okay, perfect. We're about to go live. Let's see. Let's go. Carolyn. Carolyn Woodley.
Hi.
Hi, what is your name? Where are you calling in from?
I'm Caroline. I'm calling in from England, UK.
What part of England?
The north of England,
What
North
line is
Yorkshire.
that?
What line?
Yeah, on the train.
Leeds.
Okay, got it. I used to live in I think it's Piccadilly Circus or Piccadilly Square or something like that.
Okay, about 2 hours north on the train from there.
Okay, got it. Yeah, I was there for 6 months before I went to prison. Before I went to prison for 2.5 years. So how can we serve and support you today?
So I'm struggling. I'm wearing this donkey head wear because I've just finished chemotherapy and I have breast cancer. But I set up
So
my coaching.
what is the head thing for? Why do you wear the head thing?
I'm struggling with hair loss. I'm not comfortable.
Oh, you're not comfortable with the hair loss. Okay, got it.
Yeah, so it's new. So I just finished chemotherapy.
Okay.
And the start of this year, I set up my coaching business. And I'm really struggling. First time ever. Been through a lot and overcome a lot in my life, but I'm struggling to keep myself believing that this business is still worth every effort I can give it, that I will still be making a success of my coaching business even through this cancer treatment.
What stage are you?
Stage of treatment or stage of cancer?
Stage of cancer.
I have a grade 3, stage 3 breast cancer.
Okay. One of my one-on-one clients went through stage 3 cancer and she reversed it. And she's like on fire for life. And first and foremost, I want to say that I don't know what it's like to have cancer, but I know what it's like to be thrown in jail for 12 years right after your daughter's born and your whole life is taken away from you. And I kind of didn't know what to do and I adjusted. And so I'm going to speak to you from the lens of the mindset that I had thinking my life was over. And then a woman that I coached, who her name is Carly Brown, she could not crack $5,000 per month in her coaching business. And she was like, well, I got these kids and she's got to figure things out. And then 1 year later, after working with her, she was consistently earning $135,000 a month, passive income. And she's currently writing a book about how cancer saved my life. And I said, what is it about that title? She said, because if I hadn't had cancer, I wouldn't have started eating clean. I wouldn't have come and like paid attention to my water, to my food, to my bones, to my mindset, how I was, any resentment that I was holding. So she literally said, I hear what the doctors say, but you're not going to tell me. I'm going to counsel with God, and then I'm just going to bring that. And it's been 7 years, and every time she goes back for, I think it's remission, I don't know all the terminology, she's like, you're even healthier from the last time, you're even healthier. And she literally has attracted so many people that same thing has happened to, which lets me believe there's something about the mind that's connected to the wisdom of the body. And when those are incongruent, it creates a dissonance in the field vibrationally. Kind of like when you can walk in a room full of people, nobody's talking, and someone just has something negative to say, and you can feel it in your body. It's because that's your energy body. And the same thing that happens, there's a room full of people who love you. Nobody's talking, but the overall consciousness of the room, of the feel good, is speaking to the vibrational resonance in your body. So the version of you that I'm going to be speaking to has nothing to do with the mind, and all to do with the actual wisdom that's in your body. Are you open to that?
I am.
Okay. So I have seen things that were beyond miracle. It's now it's so many miracles happen, it becomes my everyday to just see things the moment something clicks for somebody and they're aligned in their body. I've even had doctors tell me certain things, you're not going to have a bet. Like, I literally, before my son was born, I went in to get my labs. They were like, oh, you have the estrogen of a woman. And it was from the food I was eating. I was like, what? This is crazy. They're like, oh, you're going to have to take the testosterone shots. And they're trying to prescribe me all this stuff. I said, no. And I said, before I go that route, let me see what happens if I start meditating every day. I start eating organic fruit. I started eating vegetarian. I clean up my mind. Whoever's negative in my life, I get rid of. Any resentment that I have, I just release. I let go. I forgive myself and really cleansing myself from the inside out. Let me tell you something. When I went back in, they were like, wow, your labs are on another level. It seems like the testosterone is working. Mind you, I'm 46. So it's not like these things just happen. So as you get older. So I go in there and I said, actually, I didn't take anything. So what have you taken? Because there's no way that your numbers can switch like this. I took my mindset. I took love. I let go of hate in my heart. I started eating a completely different diet. And you guess what? Right after that, my wife got pregnant and we had a boy. And the last boy that was in our family was 45 years ago. And that was me. Out of all the cousins and all these other things. So where I'm speaking to is the power of when the mind is connected with the unique genius and the wisdom of the body. I call it the God body. And that comes from continuous repetition of you are who you say you are. Because death and life is at the power of the tongue. And I wonder what would happen in your body if every single day you're like, I am healed fully. I'm on my way to a full recovery. And every single day, in every conversation, and someone says, oh, you're like, no, stop that. I'm on my way to a full recovery. And you start visualizing a sound, healthy person. I know it's easier said than done. However, I just have too much evidence in my life for people that I've personally helped. And I see the difference in when somebody is admitting and then they allow themselves to go down the trail of what they think about themselves. And then somebody with the same exact diagnosis that has a mindset of, you know what, my friends, my health habits and everything, and they start doing all the things that they love. Interesting how the results are radically different. And so the reason why I'm talking about doing the things that you love, because it affects your cells.
Yeah.
So this is like true cellular rejuvenation. And that's why when you feel really good, a lot of really cool shit happens in your life. And when you feel really bad, all these negative things, screen cracked on your phone and all this stuff, because you're a signal that emanates a field, a vibrational field. So if you could focus on what do I get to do to create the most alive and joyous in my life, here's one thing I can guarantee. Your body will respond. I don't know what it will respond with, but I know the more joy you feel, not fake. There's people like, hey, I'm having a good time. And they do it for escaping. But I'm talking about being in joy from remembering. I used to love this as a child. Oh, wow, I forgot I used to love play with Barbies or slip and slide or whatever the thing is. And all of a sudden you're just happier. And then you start noticing people say, hey, something's different about you. It's the energetic field, my friend.
Yeah, yeah, I think that really hits home because I think that number one, I think fun can go out the window the minute someone gives you a cancer diagnosis, everybody gets very serious. And I think number two, I know in my heart I'm not all in with the belief. I'm maybe 80% there with the diet, maybe 80% there with the daily gratitude journal and occasional meditation, and I'm also probably only 80% there with cutting the negative people out of my
Yeah.
life. And there's a
So
little fear
so
there. And
so hear what I'm saying. Your life depends on it.
yeah,
So do it afraid.
yeah, do it
Because
anyway.
that last 20%, is where most people in the world fail.
Yeah.
They get 3/4 of the way. But those who push all the way to the finish line, that's where the world records are broken.
Yeah, I'm
So,
hearing you.
so your last 20%, turn it to your 80%.
I've got you. Yeah.
Because in every field, anybody that's been diagnosed with anything, somebody healed from that.
Yeah.
All I do is study those people. I like study them. I'm like, not like, oh, wow, you healed from this. I'm like, yo, what was your diet? What were you doing? And every single one of them were all in.
Yeah.
So I noticed you mentioned diet. Even listen to the word die. Let's turn it to a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle change. Somebody, I take my nutrition and supplements every single morning. And a friend of mine was like, oh, I'm trying to lose 50 pounds. And her profile was a pizza. And I'm just like, hey, I can get you on this nutrition program. Like me right now, I'm down 18 pounds in 6 weeks. And I've been trying to get this, but I like took it serious. And so I tried to get her on the same nutrition program. She was like, I don't want to have to take the shakes and the supplements for the rest of my life. I'm like, you're 50. You've been eating pizza and ice cream for 50 years. And so the mention of getting any ounce of healthy all of a sudden, you're like, hey, I bet you if you give yourself a full year of all in on this, I guarantee you will put extra years on your life. I guarantee you the lines from your face go away. I guarantee you the skin ends. I guarantee the skin color evens out. And so I'm sharing all of this because to diet, just even think about the word.
Yeah.
You're literally saying, I'm on a diet. Diet. It's like, no, this is a lifestyle change. The moment it's a lifestyle change, now you're embodying the lifestyle rather than something you're trying a time or two to see if it works. Let me try on my name. Let me try this relationship. Listen, committed hearts will win every single time. And so you're in a very, very, very powerful position. There's a certain thing that is challenging, that is a massive test in your life, which I know nothing about. I don't know anything about cancer, but I know when I was a little kid, everybody in my family was dying of cancer. I was like, Mom, why does everybody, I was 5 and everybody would just die of cancer. I was like, Mom, why does everybody in our family die of cancer? I didn't know anything about getting wasted. I didn't know anything about continuous alcohol, so much cigarettes. I didn't know what that was. I just knew they all kept, and then I was 40 pounds overweight and everything. And then when I joined a health and wellness community, do you realize what happened? I was like, yo, oh, this isn't hereditary. We all eat the same damn food. And so what's hereditary is our habits. The
Yeah.
moment I change my habit, all of a sudden I'm the healthiest person probably in my family's history. My mother was dying in the hospital. She had 1 year to live. One. And you know what the impetus of her that the doctor said 1 year? Her health. 15 years later, we still got my mom because you know what happened? She went all in on her health.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, it's a miracle. You know what it is? She changed her habits. And
Yeah.
right now my mom is still here. And so I can hear your 80%, and the invitation is to turn it up to all in.
I get you. I hear you. Yeah. It's what I needed to hear, I think. I've known it.
Yeah,
I've known it.
because otherwise what you'll fall victim to is the crutch of the identity. And however you see yourself, that's how you'll show up. When I was trying to get a relationship with my daughter, when she was 15, I was like, oh, she's never going to see me. I changed for all these people. Why can't she see me? Why can't she? She wouldn't even give me the time of day because I didn't know that women want to be pursued. I didn't know that when a little girl says, don't call me again, for the father not to listen to that demand and keep pursuing because it's going to come back around. No idea. So you know what I did? I created a new identity for myself, and nobody asked me to do this with no example of what it looked like. And there was no shred of ounce of me having a relationship with my daughter. You know what I said? I am the most powerful representation of who my daughter will marry one day.
Okay.
And I started shifting based off of how I saw myself. That's how powerful the identity is. However you see yourself is what will be mirrored in your life. Then all of a sudden, I said, hey, I'm talking to a 15-year-old who I've never pursued before. I said, hey, I want you to get magazine ready. Don't ask any questions. And I'm going to take you out on a date on Friday and everything. Her mother calls me and she says, what did you do to my daughter? I was like, I asked her on a date. And he goes, she's been giddy in her closet for about an hour and a half, and she's put on 20 different outfits. And she goes, great job, Dad. Keep going.
Amazing.
And now I'm the most powerful representation of who my daughter will marry. And I have my relationship with my daughter. And that's when I met my wife. And now we have kids. And I'm the most powerful representation of whose soul will marry one day. And I'm the most powerful representation of the baton I will pass on to my son one day. All that started when I had no shred of evidence. And I chose to see myself different and create an identity with myself. That's your opportunity right here, right now.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And
Thank-
what are you hearing me say?
I'm hearing you offering me the invitation to step into my full identity, my 100%, and go all in on what I believe in and what I know is true, who I know I am, and
Right
how
there.
my life.
Right there. And the guarantee is a committed heart will never leave anything on the table, regardless of the circumstances. People who live my life don't survive past 30. Somehow I made it through prison, through homelessness, through freaking just, I mean, the craziest upbringing. Somebody trying to murder me when I was 4 years old and pick up a 4-year-old child and put him in the community dryer saying, hey, you want to go to Disneyland? And literally tried to kill me when I was 4. So I've had so many experiences. Some reason I'm still here. So allow who you know who you are. I don't even have to tell you who you are. You already know it.
Yeah.
Allow her to shine. And the inside will flower the outside. Leave nothing on the table.
Yeah. Thank you. I need to let go of the fear. I am letting go of the fear and stepping into that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
And you won't even have to step into it because you're already it. You just got to remove anything that's not already it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you.
You are so, so, so very welcome, my friend. And please, I'd love to hear, just be updated on your journey and send me little notes.
I'd love.
Um,
Thank you.
yeah, that would be helpful. I'd love to hear about your journey.
Thank you.
Okay, you're so welcome.
Thank you so much.
Yep. All right,
Thank
take
you.
care.
Thank you.
Such a beautiful conversation. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful conversation. And what did we learn? What did we learn? Yes, the young lady who was just on, would you please send me a direct message? Because I'd love to connect you with my friend Carly Brown. That's great. Strawberries in love. But what did we learn? We learned that how we see ourselves determines how the universe shows up for you. That's how powerful you are. You're like, I'm not worthy, and you will be right. I'm ugly. You'll be right. I'm fat. You're right. I'm skinny. You're right. I'm broke, which is only a mindset. You're right. But what if every day, regardless of your circumstances, you looked yourself in the mirror and you're like, I am a powerful force of love and freedom, inspiring greatness within myself and others. And you said it every single day, because if you don't tell yourself who you are, I think I heard like Jay Shetty say something like this before. You'll live a life based off of who you think other people think you are. And that's the real prison. So, yeah, no, that was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful conversation. And we're about to go live again. And by the way, these are the type of spaces that I hold, because creating and doing art isn't just about painting. Sometimes people are transmuting some crazy ass pain, and then they put it on the paint, and then they create the song, and then they write the book. But if you don't know how to transmute that energy, then it starts eating your body up alive. These are things that I'm well versed in, and I like to share with artists and creators. You know, one time this mom, she was like, "Oh, I really love everything you talk about and I want to be a part of your community, but I'm just a mom." I said, "Stop right there. Who do you think created those babies? Do you ever dress the babies? Of course. Do you match them? Yes. Which part of you think is matching the clothes? Do you ever cut up the oranges in perfect little slices?" I said, "That's the creator, homie. We're all creators. Oh, I just do PowerPoints. Really? What font size? What color is the font? What style of font? That's all creation. We're all creators. We're all artists. We just forget this shit. That's why I say adults are deteriorated children. But if you could tap into who you were as a child before the world got to you, do you know what kind of power that is? How much creativity that is? How much endless amount of energy? That's why I don't call it. When people are like, "Oh, she's just a kid. Give her a break." I'm like, and that's exactly where the trauma starts. When people take kids for granted and think they're just these random little bitty people that are like 3 and 4 years old. My daughter can speak 3 languages right now, and she's 3. That ain't no little kid. That is a life force that just needs a little bit of guidance and a little bit of direction. They're like baby gods. We're created in God's image. And if you want to know what you would be like if you kept going from the little kid, so imagine the little kid, unlimited amount of energy, unlimited amount of creativity, unlimited amount of curiosity, wonderment. Could you imagine if that little kid didn't have to go through this pressure cooker called a false version of life, where they feed you fighting and evil and bad and war and all these different things on purpose? Because if you were trained and domesticated in fear, you can be controlled by fear. Fortunately for me, I just kept getting kicked out of school, so I never got hooked into that particular thing. So that's why I choose to educate in this way. I see your bullshit, and I'd rather tell people the stuff that's actually connected to their spirit, not like, let me get you to vote for me. Come on my side. Pick a side. Pick a side. Fuck every side. How about that? Because the real side is God's side, and God's side is every side. And we're created in God's image. Well, then you're not my enemy. What I'm looking at as a flesh version of what I hate inside of myself. So if I can learn to love inside of myself, therefore I can see love outside of myself. So you keep your side. I'm not playing that game. Here's the game of life I'm playing. I can see when I've traveled close to 100 countries. And I didn't go for vacation. I went to learn. Damn near everybody's suffering from the same thing. A broken and wounded little child. Well, how could you send prayers to these people? Could you imagine being a little kid, not having a choice, and then having parents say, hate America, throw bombs by the time you're 5? What? I'm praying for the child inside of every single human who never had the opportunity for somebody to look them in the face and say, what is it that you want to do? I love you, no matter what decision you make. Because you know who's not going to take their eye off the child like everyone else has? Me. Oh, Garrett's just a great inner child coach. You damn right. And I'm going to remain right here. All this stuff is great. But you know what's really great? When an adult who has been faking happiness for 30 years, trying to find happiness in sex, drugs, alcohol, working, money, finds happiness in something that they forgot about when they were 3. And then all of a sudden, their entire world starts transforming because they're genuinely happy. There is no way around a broken kid. You can't fake him out. You can change your name. You can go and move to Pluto. You're going to attract the same things because you can't outrun yourself because you're a vibration in this meat suit. That's why you keep attracting the same kind of guy, same kind of girl. And oftentimes it's from a wound that happens in childhood with your dad or your mom. They're not going to teach you this in school. What they're going to teach you is stay in your head. Don't focus on the body. Stay in your head, right here, right here, right here. This part of the amygdala. That thing in your brain is the trap. That's not real intelligence. That's somebody with a great memory. You know what real intelligence is? When my wife was having a baby, and then the doula goes, push. She says, I don't have to. Something's already pushing. That's intelligence. When I cut myself, big old gash that's like right here. And all of a sudden there's white skin, this other clear stuff, and then blood came, and then a scab was, and then my skin grew back. That's intelligence. That's real intelligence. So when you can tap into that part of your body, it will open up a level of truth that you cannot find in a book. So back to our regularly scheduled programming, and I hope y'all are getting something from these conversations. I just deeply care. So I got a little bit more time. Um, by the way, if anybody wants to be just a part of just a real community of high vibrational people that are standing for one another, and you can share what you're working on and ask for support and all that, and you got me throughout the year, I found a way to make it affordable for everybody. $9.95 a month. Type community in the comment section. I promise you it'll be better for your livelihood than anything you watch on Netflix. It'd be better from that coffee, $30 coffee, venti size that you get from Starbucks. Somebody the other day was like, "Oh, I can't afford it even at $9.95." I'm like, "You get coffee every day. Take one of those days. Take one of those days and omit the coffee, and you got 3 months of transformation." Hello. I'm just trying to make it make sense for your life, for things that are working towards you being congruent for what it is that you say that you want. All right, so we're about to go live again. Yeah, you type community and then my digital team, there's like different offers on there, but it's literally $9.95. You know how easy that is. Change your life for less than $10 a month. So just type community in the comments section. You'll be a part of our community. We have a private Telegram chat. It's lit damn near all day long. Let's see who else wants to go live. Let's go Sid. I'm ready to go live with anyone else. You press the plus, the camera sign at the bottom next to the comment section. Okay, let's see. James Mack. We'll go live with James Mack. Whatever you need support with, I'm here.
What's
What up,
up?
brother? Long
How you
time no
doing?
see.
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm so fabulous. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Are you
Um,
driving?
I am. I'm
You
on
don't
the
need to look. You don't need to look at us. Keep safety first.
I'm on the 405. Remember this freeway?
Yeah, absolutely. So, what is your full name? Where are you calling in from, and how can we serve and support you today?
So my name is James MacDonald. I'm calling in from Los Angeles, California. I'm calling because I've been in business since I was 14, and it seems as though I reach a certain point in business, and I can't seem to break past certain barriers or certain kind of thresholds. And now, I'm a father. I have
Congratulations.
thank you so much. No, it's the best thing that I ever did in my life. Absolutely, my most favorite role that I'll ever play. And I seem to hit these barriers, and then my physical and mental energy just completely deplete. Tomorrow, or actually day after tomorrow, I'll be closing down my final nutrition club, which is, a little bit heartbreaking. So I'm having to deal with a little few of those emotions and kind of work through that. But on the other end of it, I rediscovered a passion I love, and through watching all of your content, um, I rediscovered a passion for building things. I really enjoy building things with like. So I started building these tap trailers. And they're really fun, and I'm just nervous going into this new business venture that I'm going to hit those same barriers, and I'm not 100% sure how to break past them, or I guess I'm not 100% sure how to seek out the confidence to break past them. Would
Got
be
it.
a better.
Are you complete?
Probably not.
No. Are you complete with your ask?
Oh yes.
Okay. So, I'm gonna make sure I'm hearing you correctly. So, what you're saying is you just closed down your final nutrition club. It's kind of heartbreaking.
Yep.
You're a father, which is the best thing that's ever happened to you.
Mhm.
And you've always kind of just stalled out because you kept hitting a specific point, and then it just like jades your energy. And you're worried about this new venture that you're actually excited about. You've always loved building things.
Mm,
Um, and you're worried that the same thing is going to happen to you again.
right.
Did I hear you correctly?
That's correct. Yep.
Okay, cool. So, two things.
Mm.
Who do you have in your life that can pull out of you what you're not able to pull out of yourself?
I'd have to say, I have two mentors. One that Shlomo. He's been amazing. We haven't been able to spend a whole lot of time together.
No, with that particular area.
Oh, no one, just me.
So, that, if it's just you in that area, that's like a fifth grader trying to teach himself how to get out of fifth grade.
Mm,
Any level that's ever stalled out in my life is because I was trying to do it alone. Michael Jordan didn't do it alone. Michael Jackson didn't do it alone. Tom Brady didn't do it alone.
Mm.
Those who did it alone never won championships because they had the alone type mindset. They didn't understand the power of team. And so I've gotten to where I've gotten to is because I understood that I there's a lot that I think I know, but I really don't.
Hmm.
So I align myself with people that are way smarter than me.
Yeah.
And so at the time when I was going from course to retreat to mastermind, they're like, "Yo, slow down. Why are you just doing so much?" I was like, "Because I have a big vision for my life and I know that I'm not nowhere near the capacity of the person that can hold for that vision." And so, I learned this the hard way. I personally make leadership look easy. And then when people try to do what I do, they're like, "What the fuck? I didn't know it was going to
Right.
take all of this. I didn't know it
Yeah.
was going to take all of this."
Yeah.
But I learned how to do all of this from other people who learned how to do all of that. And so if in the area that kind of crashes out, you have no guidance, somebody that can look at your blind spots and like, "Yo, you're about to hit a brick wall."
Mm.
That you're not seeking counsel from, it's just difficult, bro. You're on track for it's almost like 10 years of failures, and then
Hmm.
you get it. It may not be 10 years, but it's like you learn the hard way.
Yeah.
And I would never want somebody to have to go to prison, serve a 12-year prison sentence like I did, get out in 2.5 years just to learn patience.
Right.
That's where I learned patience.
Hmm.
I wrote so many letters to people while I was in prison, and only 4 people wrote me back of my friends. So you know what I learned? How to love myself because no one was going to save me. I don't want somebody to have to go through those measures just to learn self-love and just to learn patience. And so you have a pristine opportunity to find somebody that you relate to that has done, and this is very clear. There's a lot of coaches that give us a bad rep because they're teaching on something that they're not living,
Right.
which is the worst form of coaching.
Right.
Lived experience is a different. You speak about what you're talking about completely different, and so find you a guide, a mentor, or a coach that has the result that you want, that you resonate with. Because if you resonate with them, all they're going to do is teach you how they did it from the energy that you resonate with. And there's a bunch of people that got a bunch of results, but some people will sign up for people that they don't resonate with. They're like, "Why am I not getting this result?" Because you didn't listen to that holy trinity inside of you called resonance.
Mm.
It's actually the real GPS system. It's your spiritual GPS system. And so when you resonate with someone, that's actually because that's also you. They've just said yes, and they trust themselves more than you, so they're going to teach you how to do what they've done in
Yeah.
the space where you resonate. That's number one.
Okay.
Two, find you a community of people who are doing the things that you want to do.
Yeah.
Because
Act.
flowers that grow together grow much faster together than they do by themselves. Anywhere I've ever struggled, I found a community of people that were in that were working towards that, because you become the sum total of the people that you hang out with the
Yeah.
most. But you already know this, but I'm talking about
Yeah.
in this specific area. And you've got to have them for different areas, the same reason why you had books and tests for different subjects in school. That's
Yeah.
why my wife, we have a sex coach, we have a spiritual advisor, we have a money coach, we have a business coach, we have a parenting coach, and wonder why all of those things are thriving.
Yeah.
Because we sought out the right people.
Yeah.
And when you seek out the right people, guess what happens? You can learn a depth of knowledge in such short period of time.
Yep.
And so a lot of people, they would spend money on a car,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
spend money on a car, and not realize that, oh, but I'm just trying to get a return. But you don't realize you could have done that with yourself. And so once you realize that you are the most valuable asset, we are created in God's image. So when you invest in that and you love that, be still and know that I am is God. And when you really start dialing it in from a nature standpoint, oh my goodness. Then the same thing that happens to the flowers when they get the proper nourishment, sunlight, soil, care, tending of the weeds is the same thing that'll happen to you because you're made of the same substance.
Mm. Excellent. Excellent.
That's it, brother. It will dissolve in the right environment. When you try to do it alone, you know the difference between Allen Iverson and Michael Jordan.
Absolutely.
You already know it. So you can Michael Jordan your life, but you know what? Michael Jordan didn't pick his team. You know what? He had the right person in his life that can create a team around him.
Around it. Yep.
All of a sudden, you went from scoring all the points to greatest of all times. Then you got Allen Iverson that had the potential.
We're talking about practice.
Exactly.
Yeah, I
So you
remember
know
that.
exactly what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't understand someone trying to build a team around and understanding that narrative around team.
Mm.
To understand that narrative around team, let me tell you something. You'll win all kind of championships in every area of your life. That's what I would suggest, highly.
Okay. Absolutely.
And you're not a stranger to hard work. We just had need to pointed you in the direction where to work hard so it makes sense for what you want in your life.
Thank you. Thank you for that. I appreciate that.
You are so very welcome. What are you walking away with in this conversation?
So, three things. First, I'm walking away with actively seek to not be the smartest person in the room.
I mean, what are you driving away with?
Oh, yeah, that's fair too. I'm driving away at the speed of 50 miles an hour on the freeway. Um, I'm driving away with I'll actively seek to not be the smartest person in the room. So find communities that are doing what you're doing. And then within those communities, seek leadership and mentorship. Find coaches in those areas of your life. Flowers that, grow together, grow better. And then the last thing that I'm taking away is that I am the most valuable asset. But to narrow between the lines, narrowing it down to the finest point of how you can implement your asset skills into another team or into a team of people around you. But
100%. Because a really good coach and a really good mentor,
mm,
they know who to surround, they know who the type of people to surround you around. So it's not just about what you're going to learn from them, it's how they're going to put you in position to win.
yep, yep,
So think about it. I spoke about Michael Jordan.
yep,
How did Phil Jackson have Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, two of the greatest of all? Think about it. How do you know how? You know the odds of that? To have
yep,
two of the greatest of all times?
yep. He's
Maybe
he's
he wasn't
coached
looking, he
he's coached a
wasn't,
ton of good people.
this is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
How does that, you got a sea of players, and then he goes, that one.
yep,
He must have been on some other type of stuff. A really good coach and a really good mentor will do the exact same thing
yeah,
because they want to see your star rise. And that's why I tell people, they're like, Garen, your prices are too much. You don't know what you're saying.
Yeah.
You have no clue what you're saying. But then you see somebody like a Carly Brown who comes in and she can't crack 5,000 a month. And then 1 year later, all of a sudden, Carly Brown is passive income almost every month, 145,000 in 1 year. How did you find, how did you get her to be that kind of leader? She was already a star. And then it was all about how to teach her how to position herself vibrationally
Yep.
so that she can lead and lead other leaders and put other people in positions of power so it all doesn't fall on her, so she could spread her energy out without being the only one.
Yeah. Yes.
So a good coach, a real good one, this is one of their skill sets. Just think Pat Riley.
Okay.
And think Pat Riley, Phil Jackson. Like, how
Yep.
do you get those kind of people?
Mhm.
Because they know what they're looking for. So when you come from that lens, winning becomes very easy.
Yeah.
That's why, if you
Clarity.
notice,
Yep.
kind of every business I'm a part of, it kind of does the same thing.
Yeah.
Because I understand team. I understand I can't be the smartest person in the room. I understand that I need a coach right now that can see things that I'm not able to see. I understand putting myself in an environment where I'm like, damn, I'm sitting next to the owner of Wells Fargo and the Cincinnati Reds and some guy that did $150 million launch in 1 day. And I'm like, well, shoot, I don't know anything about that. Well, let me just listen to what it sounds like. Humbled. I'm a student. I'm willing to learn. I never thought about this. So understanding that you can be a leader and a learner simultaneously,
Yeah. Yep.
this is what I'm saying. So that's your thing. Take that, run with it, and send it. You will have zero issues. And then when you come up against that thing, you will know what to do with it, because then you can just talk it out with somebody. They're like, try this, try this, try this. Go rearrange your room so you can shift some energy around. All of a sudden you're like, oh, I got it. I cracked the ceiling. Yeah, because you're not trying to figure it out yourself.
Yes. That's definitely an area. I feel like that's my own blind spot that I've set in place for myself, is continually and perpetually trying to figure it out for myself. I'm aware that it's important to be around people that are much smarter than you, much more successful than you, much more spiritually developed than you. I seek out those people. I've watched you grow for 15 years now, and it's, I remember World Team Garen Jones. You know what I mean? Like, I remember you forever, and it's remarkable. I mean, it's unbelievable. I'm astounded, and I'm appreciative of this time you're spending with me. Um, but again, that's just like the cap that I feel like I've reached. I can show up for my wife. I can show up for my daughter. I can show up. I read. I do as much studying as I possibly can. I read as many books as I possibly can. But I think the thing that I'm saying is right? Like, I'm reading the books. I'm doing the study. I'm not being fed into by somebody who can see a greater thing outside of me. And so that for me is where the challenge lies, and that's I feel like that
It's the opportunity.
just discovering this now, I feel like that might be the thing that is keeping me from penetrating above the plateaus I always hit. The
Yep.
same plateaus. I've been in business 20 years, man. I started a company at 14 with my brother. We were kids in high school, and that was really weird. We were really weird that way. But we reached a certain level, and then it still runs. But we're talking about 20 years later, right? And every other business I've been involved with, I'll reach a certain point, hit mentorship capacity, and then you look around and it's almost like there's nobody around you. And you're like, what the heck? So it's like you have to actively go out and seek mentorship and like really put value in it. Like you,
Absolutely right, bro.
it's like the people that shop around for cheap health results are going to get cheap results.
100%. And look, guess what? Cheap is the new expensive.
Yep.
You
Yeah.
buy
Yeah.
you buy you buy cheap shoes that look good, and all of a sudden you got blisters all over your feet. Now you got to buy some. You know what I'm saying? You
Yep.
cheap is the new expensive.
Yep.
Quality.
When you're building your home, you can build it on a cheap foundation, and you're going to have to redo it in 3 years. Like it's all the same. It's all the same circulation. So understanding the value, and I admire and appreciate the value you bring to the world, and I'm grateful and humbled continually. Um, but yeah, understanding that value point and being able to see the value point is wherein lies the challenge, because there's so many people in the world that are making bad names for people who coach others, and that's wherein lies the difficulty. I feel in a technological age where everything is immediate, like you're exposed to you know the quote unquote online coach deal, right? And
Yeah,
it's
man. It's one of the main reasons why I choose to keep like I use artificial intelligence like this
sure,
because
yeah,
everybody's completely selling out.
yep,
And you know what's left? Real human touch.
yeah, yep,
And so what will be left when everybody sells out and all of a sudden they're not like using their thoughts and their mind anymore? It's the same reason why with GPS. People lean on the GPS and then wonder why their memory is not what it is. I
yep,
guarantee you, if everybody out here right now memorizes 5 addresses that you don't typically know that's in your GPS system and memorizes 5 phone numbers, you will double your brain power within 2 weeks.
yeah,
But
absolutely.
so any of the outsourcing, but I'm saying this is that's how that authenticity, it brings something really special to the place. So thank you for your acknowledgement, and I acknowledge you for seeking and just allowing yourself to receive the opportunity to choose to do something different, because I know that you also impacted other people on this call that might have been sitting in the same seat.
I sure hope I have faith that is what's occurring, and I God bless you, man. I know He always will.
Always have a great trip.
You too, man, and
All right,
give the best to your family.
I will.
Thank you.
All right, peace.
Bye.
Great conversation, y'all. Great conversation. It's like if I had like one wish for um everyone to truly understand having someone in your life that can see your blind spots. I heard from a billionaire friend of mine, and he was like, broke people spend money on things. He said, wealthy people invest in frequency. And I'm like, what the fuck? What does that mean? They spend money to be inside of rooms where it's an elevated frequency. Because when you're in a room full of people in an elevated frequency, your ideas get elevated. And I was like, well, I want to be in those rooms. I want to be around that level of thinking, not negative thinking. And so I've learned just to be in environments where I can continuously serve and learn simultaneously. And then all of a sudden, within a year or two being in these elevated environments and higher level masterminds, all of a sudden they're asking me to go on stage and give a speech. And then I get off stage and be like, who the fuck? Where did you come from? I've seen you for 3 years. I want to sign up for whatever it is that you're doing. And then all of a sudden I end up coaching some of the most powerful business minds in the country. He's like, Garen, how'd you do that? I went in the environment to learn, and then I also went in the environment to serve. So, it's I really, if you could, a really good mentor could support you in saving 30 years, 30 to 40 years of stress in your life. If they have overcome the thing, they can point you directly and show you exactly how you did it. That's why I'll invest hundreds and thousands of dollars in being in these rooms and being around certain people, because I'm just like, you have what I want. The way you live your life, I want that. Teach me everything you know. I want to read your book. I'm signing up for your retreat. I'm coming. And this is the same thing with me. If you rock with me, everything I've learned, I put inside of everything that I do. So that's why if you type community in the comment section right now, I have a $9.95 offer where you get access to all these um, replay videos of me talking and some other coaches talking. We got a private Telegram chat. You can come in there and share what you're working on. Somebody's going to help you. Like, you don't really find that. You find a bunch of negative people just, you know what I'm saying? These aren't the type of environments that I'm committed to being a part of. So I create the type of environments that I came up in, and I needed a safe space to express myself and to share my art, share what I was working on. Because you know what? Before I wrote my book, you know why it took me 5 years to write my book? Because I didn't know what the fuck to do with all of these. I was like, how do I just sit down and inside of my artist power community? Hey, has anybody ever written a book before? Can you share with me the 5 steps? You know what happens? They're going to enter inside of the community. And then all of a sudden, that's a lot less money that you're going to have to pay learning the hard way, because you're in a community that's designed for everybody to serve and support everybody else. Um, so if you want to be a part of a community like that, the Artist Power community, I finally got my team to lower the prices because I wanted something that was just easy, that didn't put a dent in what people are doing. It's like literally $9.95 per month. That's a crazy deal given the value. So type community in the comment section, and then you'll be a part of that. And anybody that just likes my style of coaching and facilitation, I also coach coaches, lead leaders, facilitate facilitators, and we have a coaching certification program, which is really, really, really powerful. And I'm giving, if you get it today, I'm giving 50% off because I love rewarding now action. If you type Panda in the comment section, you'll get the details about our coaching certification program. Let's see, I'm going to do one more call. I'm going to do one more call. Let me see. Oh, let's see, Rebecca Gonzalez.
Oh,
Hi,
hi. Oh my goodness. Yay. Thanks, G. I
how are you,
appreciate
friend?
it so much. I'm doing so good, and I have so many amazing notes from today's. This has been such a great call. So thank you for doing these for us.
You are so very welcome. What is your name and where are you calling in from?
Hi guys, my name is Rebecca Gonzalez. I'm currently in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I also live in Corpus Christi, Texas. I'm blessed to have two homes, two ways of being. But I'm in Albuquerque right now.
So how can we serve and support you today?
Okay. Um, I could really use some support. I am grieving still. I'm 2 years in, and this second year is really highlighting a lot for me. It's probably if I could say I thought I knew what hard was, I'm like, this is, I have met my match with the challenge of hard and through this. And
Wait,
we
wait.
also
Before you
have
go any further, I need just a little bit of context. Grieving what? And
my dad. I've lost my dad.
okay.
The, my whole world, it's like if there was one thing that would ever tinted my world, this happened. And we're learning to live in a new world now. And
Mm,
the little child is definitely, she has been out a lot this year. So I think I navigate with her more, I think, than ever, because essentially it's just a little girl grieving her father. And I feel like my whole world just looks a little different. And
yeah.
I'm finding my words to even bring that to people, to my amazing husband, because, you know, he's in this with me as I'm learning. And I don't even know what to explain to people how I'm feeling half the time. Um, and we're in business, you know, and we just opened our new nutrition club in a new state. And I love doing this and I love impacting people and I love working with people and I love helping people see their greatest, become their greatest, feel their greatest, whatever the greatest means to them. And I am also navigating that I'll do that. And then I turn around and cry a lot.
Mm,
Um, and I heard Monica tell me something that, like, to sit with my dad for like 15 minutes a day and give him the space to come with me at a certain time versus it kind of coming so sporadic and so heavy at points right now. And I
yeah.
hear that and it feels good. And I don't know why I'm also like, I just don't know if I'm ready to only give it 15 minutes as much as it's
Yeah.
impacting me on a daily basis. I'm like, it lands and it doesn't land. So I would love some support. And I've even thought maybe I really need a grievance counselor, or is it just going to come to me through time? But I really would love to get your insight because it is very heavy. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, first and foremost, I am holding space for little Rebecca. I know what it's like to lose a dad. And it stinks. It sucks. I remember being little and all of a sudden I just start crying every time. One time a year, but I didn't know why. But I didn't. It was hard. It was really hard. And there's two ways I want to go about this. Um, what's the name of your nutrition club?
we have Albuquerque Nutrition and then we also own Corpus Christi Nutrition.
What's your dad's name?
Paul.
What if you created a altar in both of your nutrition clubs in memory of Paul, and then you made a shake that's for Paul? And every time you give it out, it's just a way to. Are you familiar? Like, there's like in the spiritual realm, spirits that are not physically here
Yes.
have the
Yeah.
ability to connect.
Absolutely. They do.
Okay.
It's so amazing.
So when you create spaces for points of connection
Mm,
intentionally, there are things that can happen in dreams because what they teach us about ancestors is all bullshit. I can tell you that right now because my grandmother, who went on the other side in 2015,
mm,
we have a ball. And I learned how to cultivate the part of me that's so connected to the spiritual, where the place where Big Mama is.
mm,
Every time people will walk up, they're like, hey, there's like this energy on your right shoulder, and have had mediums just walk up to me. And I never was into mediums. And it's just like, there's a lady right up. I'm like, yeah, that's my Big Mama.
oh
But
wow.
I've intentionally created spaces. Like right here, I want you to look at this. This is a standing altar inside of my office. And at the top was me holding my Big Mama's hand. And I
Mhm.
was closer with my big mama than I was with my mom, and a baby
Mhm.
picture of me. And so this whole altar, I just come, I'm like, Big Mama, thank you, what we creating today. And so it just allows me to have, now I had this grieving thing, and so I wanted to share something with you. When Big Mama, and she was the matriarch of our family, and I'm going to introduce this terminology to you, and you can
Mhm.
use it or not, but it's what really helped me with the passing of my grandmother.
Okay.
Um, every success has a successor. And when Big Mama had collapsed and her lungs went black, she was in the hospice and she hadn't moved for 2 weeks. And everybody was like, no, don't go. Everybody, I mean, everybody. And something inside said, Garen, go see her. And it was during the time in Houston. Remember when there was that before Katrina, but there was
Mhm.
that big thunderstorm and was killing all the people and drowning all the
Mhm.
cars and everything. And the
Mhm.
only car I could get, I had to fly from LA to California. I mean, to Texas. The
Mhm.
only car I could get was a little bitty car, so it was basically a suicide mission to go and drive and water this high. It hadn't even during the daytime. It was dark, thundering, tornadoes, hurricanes, crazy. Something said go. And I don't know what it was. So what would normally take 6 hours took me 19 hours to drive. And I'm still gonna go. Before we got there, I saw this light poke through, and for some reason, it was thundering everywhere, but not over the hospital. So I walk up, I go into the hospital. Everybody says, oh, Big Mama, don't go. And I made everybody get out because one thing I never heard from not one person was, Big Mama, thank you for
Yep.
everything that you've done. So I went in there, not expecting her to, she hadn't moved. She was like, and I said, Big Mama, thank you. Thank you for teaching me how to not treat people different just because they are gay, because she had a gay son and she didn't treat him. That was my favorite uncle before I even knew what gay was. So I never treat anybody different based off of what I saw my grandmother do. Thank
Mhm.
you for teaching me that both of your sons are equal. Thank you for bringing in strangers off the street, then feeding them. That's even in Herbalife. That's where I got connecting with people I don't know and bringing them in. I got it from my grandmother. So I was like, thank you for this. And thank you for teaching me that the whole family stays together and builds something so powerful. That's even how the Urban Heroes, that same thing came from my grandmother. Thank you for teaching me what family is. So I showered her with so many thank yous and I placed my hand and then I said, Big Mama, I got it from here. And 30 minutes later, she was gone. What I learned that day is that what somebody comes to bring in this lifetime, they cannot take to the grave with them. It's called a mantle. And they look, whether they're here in physical reality or not, they are looking for someone to pass the mantle to, but that someone has to be in an energy of receivership. It's a vibration of knowing how the order of the lineage works. Sometimes it passes. You ever seen some people, they're like, oh my goodness, he's like his grandfather. Or it skipped 2 generations. It's because some generations are not ready to be handed something. And so once I learned about the mantle that my grandmother held, I didn't even know. She had 7 kids and they had kids. And so I didn't even know until I spoke at her funeral. Some lady that was 102, she's like, you're the cat's kitten, aren't you? I heard you speak. And I'm like, cat's kitten, what does that mean? And then the pastor goes, somebody in this room will be Big Mama's successor. And he started describing things about my grandmother that I had no idea, but they were my exact personality. And I was like, oh, I'm the one. I'm the one to carry the legacy. They come from a long line of teachers that broke barriers. I became an educator who's been breaking barriers. So I took the man, she gave me the mantle. So I'm sharing with you that because when I come from education, you know whose legacy I keep alive? My big mama. And you know who's still here? My big mama. So that is what allowed my grieving process to transmutate into an honoring process.
Mm.
So that's why she speaks to me all the time. Through red cardinals, through uh, accidents of slips on a piano, and all of a sudden I'm like, wait, I'm writing a song called Big Mama, and then my elbow slips, and then there's a Morse code happening with my elbow that sounds exactly like how my grandmother was quiet, and then all of a sudden she would explode. I'm like, you're communicating with me from the realm that you're in. Yes, you should learn a lot about frequency and vibration. So I wanted to offer you that because now it has another way to covet your father. And from
Okay.
that place, I taught other family members. Now my mom has this deep connection with my grandmother, and she sees red cardinals all the time. That was their thing.
Yeah.
And the moment I was like, Mom, do you believe that Big Mama can communicate with us beyond where she was like, absolutely. I see her all the time as a red cardinal. 5 minutes later, I saw a red cardinal in my backyard for the first time in 5 years when we lived here while my
Oh my
mom was
goodness.
there.
Oh wow.
So when you become open to connection,
Mm-hmm.
oh, the connection will be there all the time. That's why Big Mama
Okay.
is not gone. I just opened up places intentionally for connection. And that's why I said you can have Paul can have an altar and you can be like, hey Paul, I think you can have a shake that's made. This is and you know what I'm saying? And it's just like a way to weave in your heart and his heart, which is the place where connection happens.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
worth a try. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But I will tell you this, the people that I share this particular talk with that is going through something similar you went through, they're like, it was less than a week when the connection started happening.
Okay. I hear it. I hear it. And maybe that is why it's been so strong. Because it's almost a little jarring to the nervous system. And I think it's coming out and crying, maybe just because I didn't understand it yet. That I mean, he is everywhere. And there are things everywhere. And it's so moving. And I feel like I mean, that part of life almost introduces you to how strong the spiritual world is because it's so real. I always knew it was real, but man, to feel it to this degree is moving and it's a little jarring sometimes. So if there is something I need to understand that's trying to be moved through, and I want to honor him, and I got to be with my daddy when he passed.
Mm,
My mom actually had left the hospital, and I actually weirdly think that was the way it was supposed to be. I got to be with him and hold his hand.
mm.
And that comes up a lot. And I got to tell him how much I love him and that everything will be okay. And we got to be calm together in his passing because he was such a calm man.
So I wonder what would happen in the stillness of calm. And you say, Daddy, what are you trying to communicate with me? So if his demeanor was calm, that's where you meet him.
Okay.
Like my uncle Dwayne, people don't even know this, and this is why I've always like supported the LGBTQ plus community, is because to deny that community was to deny the very person that taught me about expression. And Dwayne died of AIDS. Dwayne died of AIDS. But let me tell you something. He was all flamboyant, and before I knew, I was a little kid, but he would dance and twirl, and he was a fire spinner. And then I would be like dance, and my dad would be like, "Hey, Garen, get your hand off your hips. He can do that, but you don't do that, whatever." But the thing I loved about Dwayne is he was fully himself. And
Mhm.
so anytime you have ever seen me dance,
Mhm.
that's my point of connection with Dwayne because that's what he loved to do.
Oh,
That
okay.
was his demeanor. So when you see me expressing myself, they're like, wow, how could you? Why do you have so much confidence? I learned from my very gay uncle that nobody in my family judged how to just express yourself. So now I'm just this straight man who just knows how to use my body. But the way I honor Dwayne, every time I dance, every time I sing, and you've been seeing it for years, that's
Yeah.
me and Dwayne doing what we used to do when I was a little kid. And then there's like an energy that takes over, but that's me honoring his expression.
Oh, I love that.
So you take their demeanor and you meet them there, and then all of a sudden you feel this extra energy, their presence is felt. It's
Oh,
you
wow.
you can't see it because you got to understand there's a different way to see. How does Stevie Wonder write songs about a world that looks better than anyone that we've ever seen, and it's a world he's never seen? Must be a different way to see.
Oh.
You know what I do every morning? I wake up. First hour, I don't even open my eyes because I was always fascinated about the invisible world that controls our life.
Mhm.
I wake up in the morning, I don't open my eyes, I'm walking around, so I have to feel the world around me. I'm breathing different, I'm really calm. My wife loves tea, so I'm like preparing her tea, and I got to figure out what coffee mug. I'm brushing my teeth, I go and meditate, I get out, I'm pushing buttons on the sauna, then I open my eyes. You know how much trust you got to have to do that? Well, guess what? Deep trust leads to deep intuition,
Mhm.
the level of calmness in my nervous system. So I wonder if you trained calm, would he possibly meet you there?
Okay. Because right now, I think when I feel it, I just get into a little bit of mourning, or it's not a little bit, it's a lot, and I'm just crying and it's heavy. But if I can see it with the new lens, that it's, I don't know if this is right, but like more than grief, that there's more to that than the tears, that there could be a message in that because it's been.
Here's what I'll share. Every
Mm,
word every word you speak,
mm,
somebody made up.
mm,
That's all I'm going to say is every word you speak, the universe don't speak English. Somebody made it up. So what you think something is actually a programmed frequency inside of that signal. That's
mm,
why there are certain countries in the world that don't have the vocabulary word of ADD. You know how many cases they have? Zero. And in America, the person who created that language, his name was Noah Webster. Webster's Dictionary. So Webster's Dictionary, you got to understand, that was a war mongrel. So what you think is trauma to him is a bomb detonating in your spirit because he was hired to weaponize the way people think. And that's why
mm,
you have good morning, you got morning death and you got good morning in the morning. It's not about the spelling, it's about the phonetics of the sound. And as long as the phonetics of the sound same, you got dual frequencies happening. So most people don't even realize they're slowly casting a death spell just by saying good morning. That's why I don't say good morning anymore. I say powerful rise.
Mm.
So our language, just by nature, is a weaponized language to turn us against ourselves. I'm 2 years old, old. Ain't nobody old. You're in the rhythm of this season. But true nature don't have an age. But that's weaponized language. So the reason why I say that, if you there's something more than to any word that you say, because somebody programmed that word with a frequency. But if nobody knew what grieving was, it would be something else.
Got it.
So what I decided to do was create my own narrative called,
Okay.
you know what? We don't just have this 3D realm. Somebody was arguing with me the other day. They were like, "Oh, how could you ever say that? It's blasphemy. You you worship the devil." I'm like, because I talk about multidimensionality. Yeah, I don't believe in that stuff. I'm like, you ever had a dream before? Yeah. Where the fuck you think that came from? This 3D world, and you're dreaming about ancient Greek Roman time? You just haven't developed that version of you. You know what version of you develop? ABCs. That's the linear language that keeps you in your head and not in the wisdom of the body. You ever had a hunch and then all of a sudden it happened? It shouldn't be random. It's just underdeveloped.
Mm.
So that what we're talking about, everything
Mm.
is in the non-physical world. But the non-physical world is the world that was programmed on purpose. That's why the monsters in the closet, they program you on what darkness is, black line, black male, black this, black that, black magic, everything black and dark is bad. Meanwhile, you look up at the moon, the stars come out. Meanwhile, you look up, you can't, the stars are bright because it doesn't avoid the night. Meanwhile, you plant the seed in darkness, and all of a sudden it just knows how to create the rooting system.
Mm.
So, which darkness is bad? The programmed darkness or the one that God created?
Yeah.
You know that nature outside and every single one of those trees that have been here long before humans and will be here long after humans seems like they know what to do with darkness.
Mhm.
So the non-physical world is the magical world. So black
Mm.
ain't bad, darkness isn't bad, you just don't know what to do with it. So what you do is you program it with fear, and anything you give darkness, it will amplify.
Understood. Very, very understood.
The monsters in the closet is the magical version of you. They wanted to make a billion they wanted to make a billion movies programming you not to look in that closet.
Mm.
But let me tell you something. I look in that closet every single day. And then the cosmic version of me, the manifested version of me, the one that had these visions when I was a little kid and people made me to be like I was like crazy for thinking what I was thinking. Oh, that version of me is fully online. Because that's how we start off as kids. And we strip that away from them. You can't relate to a kid as a kid. That's a little elder, and you can actually have some things to learn.
Mm.
So my daughter, when we go to bed, the monsters in the closet are good monsters.
Mm.
So she will walk in the closet at 3. She was like, "You make sure you protect me, okay? You make sure you." She don't know bad monster.
Wow.
She don't even know it. She don't even know it. The only bad monster is the pee pee monster, and then and so it's the pee pee blanket will get us if she pees in the blanket. You see what I'm saying? So you can
Yes,
twist
sir.
it and you make it because all this. Somebody the other day they were like, "Ugh, I can't stand these pronoun people. They just be making up words." I said, "Newsflash! All this shit is made up."
Yeah.
You mean to tell me other people can't make up already made up words? That's how much we're hypnotized. So make it up, create it, and you have the opportunity to connect. I promise you.
Okay. Hear it. Thank you. This feels really good. I think, again, what I heard Monica say, the 15 minutes, I'm like, it does and it doesn't. And I feel like this really supports me understanding what that energy is. I just don't think I knew what that was. And I think I needed to hear that it's a way of connection. And this is actually going to be a really beautiful journey that we
Yeah,
get to experience together. It's actually not broken. It's so strong. It still didn't end it, even though he's not here. He's just here in another way. And if I can work with that and see
yeah.
what the mantle is there to do,
Just
I'm
ask.
excited to see what will happen.
Just ask. And here's the thing. What really is here?
Mm.
That's like, oh yeah, we're in a free country. We ain't damn near. I had more freedom in prison than I did in America. And I said, why do I feel more free in prison? Something about this ain't right. There's the word freedom, and then there's actual liberated consciousness freedom from the inside out. Freedom frequency, not binded by control, money, power. Oh, that's not free. And so here, what really is that? When the
Okay,
world that they teach us ain't really that world.
got it.
Trust us. Come on, trust us. But meanwhile, you got all these people in the government, pedophilia, all these things. Yeah, trust us. No, I don't trust you. You know what I trust? Myself.
Hmm.
I'm done giving out freaking meal tickets to give everyone outside of me power. But the moment I chose to be the president of the United States of myself, that's when my life changed. That's when you start getting revealed. You start being revealed universal truths that will never be found in any book. That book is in that Holy Trinity inside of you, the vibration. So when you start to learn to, what is this here to give me? What is this? What is this? What message do you have for me? Who are you? All of a sudden, you start hearing things, seeing things that reminded you of something else because the universe don't speak English. So you got to understand frequency and signals and symbols and things like that. And you're like, wait a second. The moment I was said this, this happened. But this is the thing that me and my dad used to have. He's trying to connect with me.
Oh, wow.
So if you don't get caught up in the, oh my goodness, and then you say, wait a second, what's happening right now? What time is it right now? What shirt am I wearing right now? What song is on the radio? What time of day is it right now? What's happening right now? And you start literally looking, most of the time that's directly connected to something else that only you know. And when only you know of a thing, somebody's trying to connect with you. And so then you say, wait, who's connected to this? And then it's that person. I do it all the time, so it doesn't surprise me anymore.
Oh, wow. Okay, I think that was the medicine and the understanding I needed because I think I've maybe been afraid of it just because I don't understand it yet.
Yeah.
This is my first time to this kind of experience, so
This is
maybe I
why
just
I
need.
teach. This is why I teach vibration. Because underneath every trauma is stuck vibration. So why don't we just get the right attuned to the right frequency and it just lifts the trauma out of your body? It's because the universe, even biblically, it says in the beginning there was the word, but the Greek meaning for the word is sound and vibration, frequency and vibration. That is the actual language. That's the first language. That's the language the baby speak in the womb. That's why when a mother is pain, 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 yelling, drugs, alcohol. That vibration literally crystallizes and structures the water, and then that water gets into the seed, and that seed affects the baby.
Mm.
So if you learn about vibration, this is why I tell people one of the greatest things that you can do is learn how to tone, learn how to keep a note, learn how to sing, not for the sake of doing a song, but you learn because what you hear, if what you hear, what you can repeat through a tone, now you will be able to elongate a frequency. Because in order to make a sound, there must be vibration and frequency working in harmony together.
Mm.
And the more well versed you are in that, the more you expose to the world of frequency and vibration and anything that's connected to that world.
Okay. Well, that feels a lot more understandable. Thank you for speaking a language I understand. Thank you for teaching it so clearly. I fully am digesting everything that you're saying. It's sitting very well. More calm talking about this because I think I have a clarity to understanding what this is and what it
And
could potentially become.
and a spirit can use anybody's body they want.
Well,
So
how
who's to
blessed.
say? Paul didn't or wasn't a part of this arrangement in the beginning to begin with, and you're like, and you were so calm, and his demeanor was calm. I don't know, but I won't put
Oh,
it past a moment.
okay. Got it. Well, thank you, G. I appreciate you. I've always felt very, very safe around you. Thank you for allowing me to be my authentic, honest self with you. Um, I'm so grateful I'm a part of you in a world's way and that I come from something you saw many moons ago. And thank you for not only teaching this in the business world, but also in this world. You're one of the many reasons I stayed in the business world of this. And one of the many reasons that's opened me to wanting to become something really different and something I knew deep down but didn't know that I had the expression to become. So I'm really grateful for you, G, and thank you for walking me through this. I have not had yet to find some way to understand this that actually resonates. Um, so this is very clear to me, and I really appreciate you.
You are so very welcome. And I will say, if you resonate that much with me, if you spot it, you got it, friend.
Oh, thank you, G.
Yep.
I appreciate you.
See you on tonight's call.
Yes, sir. See you tonight.
All right. Wow. Well, that was a beautiful call. You know, it's cat's out of the bag. It's like I'm a very, very, very deep person physically and in the non-physical world. But this is when you're not afraid to be yourself, when you're not afraid to have your thoughts be what they actually are without making yourself wrong for thinking the things that you think. When you remember that you were a certain way and you had certain visions when you were a little kid and you're like, but I don't know who to tell this shit to. You can tell it to me. I'm like the holy version of like Harry Potter. I don't give a fuck what people say. You think you shouldn't do? Don't tell me what I should do. I lived a whole life of people telling me what I should. I got kicked out of groups. You're not this. You're not churchy enough. You're not. Well, how about this? I create my own shit and invite a bunch of creative misfits there. Not gonna judge them for their beliefs. And there might be quite a few people that are like, fuck, finally, I could be myself and not be made to be weird because I have thoughts that are a little bit different than other people. That's me. And if you want to be a part of a community like that, type community in the comments section. I made it easy for you. It's $9.95 a month. Join the Telegram chat. Share your ideas. Share your wins. People are getting recognition for whatever they create in the world. This is what I love. It's artist power. It ain't just about painting. It's people typically create from escaping. We create from remembering. And I believe this is a revolution right now. And the people who are crazy enough to create a better world, I know they are artists. So we're on the forefront of that, going all in, 10 toes down, full life force energy. If you want to be a part of a community that's on like the right side of the change of the world and not just talk about it, like actually do something about it, 9.95. Or keep getting your Starbucks. Type community in the comment section and then join today. All right, y'all. Get to go be with my son. I'll speak to you sooner than later. Peace, peace, peace. Oh, really quick, I'm gonna answer this question. Say, I'm curious how I can discover, hold on, if your panda If your Panda program is also helping to make me more stable. Basically, you want to learn how to make money. We have a part, we have something in the coaching certification program where there's people that struggle with like flyers and launching their business and all these different things. I have a company that's inside of there that's called Artist Power Launch, and you get to have access to being able to launch your business, and it's all automated. So it's like all you got to do is answer a questionnaire, and then as you answer the questionnaire, it's gonna like literally spit out your business. So to answer your question, yes. All right. Have a great day. Peace.